In the near future, the Harbinger Corporation has a very advanced robot factory where a cyborg named Mills works. While overseeing the latest models, she receives an important message in her mind. The Harbinger Eye Training Facility has discovered some anomalies in the model known as SAR, or Study, Analyze, Reprogram. Mill immediately reports to her boss that there's been a reprogram count for 1.5 million in just one day, but he just congratulates her on it. Later at a military base, Captain Books learns from Drifter that they are being sent on a training exercise for 2 days on a faraway island. Books isn't happy about this because his team has already been on training the last 4 times out, but he has no choice but to obey. On his way out, he is approached by Mills, who explains she is coming too because she must check on the training hardware. Books does not trust her and thinks Harbinger sent her to keep an eye on the team. Once the plane takes off, Mills uses her scanner to learn more about each team member, noticing that Robinson has tech implants on his eyes. When he aims his rifle at her and says he sees her, Mills disarms the weapon with just a hacking look, pointing out that she could even fire it from afar if she wanted. When they are about to arrive, Bukes reminds the team that they'll be monitored, so they must behave. Mills is surprised that she cannot access the global network anymore and has no choice but to change to the local one. The team arrives at the training facility. However, they cannot find a single person anywhere, so they wonder who is supposed to be monitoring them. As the plane takes off, Mills asks Bukes if he has any ground support or recon, but he doesn't. After crossing a corridor in the facility, the team comes out to find a forest. They set up a drone, and then they get going, spreading out with Mills at the back. She notices an unidentified drone among the trees, but she does not say anything. Soon they find the training spot and start moving to their positions, only to suddenly be surrounded by strange surveillance drones. Drifter raises his weapon, but Mills stops him as she explains these drones have been quantum modified, meaning they don't have operators. The drones watch them for a few seconds but do nothing, so Bukes orders everyone to keep going. Moments later, they finally find their targets and are disappointed to see their very basic robots. They quickly make a plan of attack and spread out to open fire with a variety of weapons, from bullets to actual rockets, while the drones record all their tactics. In just a matter of seconds, all the targets have been destroyed. Meanwhile, Mills decides to follow a drone and eventually comes across a SAR, so she immediately tries to access it. She is very confused when she is not able to look into its programming. And to make matters worse, the SAR suddenly turns around and reveals there is blood on its head. As she closes her eyes, Mills watches some footage from the Unit A's training program and is disturbed to see the SAR shooting various people right in their faces. When she opens her eyes, the SAR is gone, so Mills goes back to the team. In the evening, the team sets up camp and takes a break while discussing Mills, who currently is sitting alone and analyzing the information she has gathered. Drifter checks on her and comments on the fact their radios don't work. But Mills hasn't been able to access the global network either, meaning something is definitely blocking their transmissions. Then Drifter asks Mills about her chip, so she shares her story. When she was 11, she had paralysis, so she accepted a sponsorship from Harbinger that cured her. Afterward, Drifter reports to Bukes that Mills does not have comms either, so Bukes becomes even more suspicious of this expedition. Before everyone goes to bed, Mills notices they're still the forest. Moments later, while Mills sleeps, the strange footage she got from SAR keeps playing in her eyes. Meanwhile, Loftus is keeping watch when he is suddenly approached by a drone, but he just tells it to get away. The drone flies back only to reveal something among the trees. It's SAR, who immediately comes after him. Loftus does not hesitate to open fire to defend himself. In the camp, Mills wakes up when she hears everyone arguing over some strange noises, and Goodwin swears he saw Loftus disappear. The team enters the forest to look for Loftus, but it is not until morning that they find some blood on the grass. Following this clue, they are disturbed to find Loftus, a body against a tree. The group gets in a defensive position as Mills analyzes the area, discovering they are on their target's spot from yesterday. At that moment, a drone shows up and watches them for a second before leaving, only for a sudden shot to kill one of the soldiers. A group of robots appears in the forest in the same position the team was in yesterday and opens fire on them, so the team rushes to hide behind trees, and luckily nobody gets hurt. When the shots stop, The soldiers throw out some smoke grenades in order to run away under the protection of the fog. The robots begin shooting again, and the soldiers fire back as they run. But Books takes a detour to approach the machines from the side. He shoots one of them but causes no damage, and when the robots see him they immediately go away. Meanwhile, a soldier accidentally gets separated from the team and 3 drones find him, but he scares them off with a few shots. Unfortunately, he's found by Sayer, who lifts him up so another robot can kill him. Back to the team, Bukas explains that the robots he saw are way more advanced than those from yesterday and orders Mills to shut them all off. However, Mills says she cannot because there's a programming error, so she's currently running.